Good morning, welcome to Move More Reimagined. We are I Care, I Move. This is week 24 out of 25, so you've got this week and next week. So do what you can, email us if you've got any questions. We're coming to the end. Email us also with anything you want to feed back to us, good or bad. It's really helpful for us to know how you're feeling, how you've progressed, how you found the course. And anything else that you might want to share, whether you might have fallen previously and you're a bit stronger, whether you feel steadier, you might be able to go up and down the stairs easier, more confident, and somebody else in your family or friends might have noticed something about you. So please share it with us. It all helps us to build a story around how it helps you in the community. So let's get going with our circulation boost warm up. So you can come straight into standing, those of you that have been with us the whole time, if you're fairly kind of new, or if you're not feeling great today, or if you've got some new diagnosis or new treatments, then take it easy. You can always come to sitting. Make sure you've got space around you, a drink to hand, and feet are nice and wide to start with. And I want you to think posture. So from a slouch position, lift through the belly, lift the chest, open out through the shoulders, the collarbones, send the shoulder blades back and down, and just enjoy that lovely posture for a second. And take some deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. And again. Deep breaths in and out, relaxing those shoulders down. I'm going to come up to standing, so I'm going to come behind my chair. Keep breathing in and out. And you should have kind of like a dining room chair, something nice and sturdy that can support you by a worktop or a wall. Feet are wide. Let's start by rolling those shoulders up to your ears, all the way back and down. Oh, and send them down so you get a big stretch. Up to the ears, back and down, up to the ears, back and down. And soften through those knees for me. Breathe, enjoy that stretch. Doesn't it feel nice on a Monday morning? Start your day with a little stretch. Okay, we're going to lift the heels in a gentle heel lift. So we're not even really in a march yet. Just starting slowly, small, lifting one heel and then the other. Breathe. Smile. Okay. Let your hands swing. Just gently. Take any tension out of your fingers. Okay, we're going to come into nice wide feet. Soften the knees and into that shoulder raise. So all the way up. Take your time. Take your time. So feet nice and still, feet wide. Drop those arms down. Feel that pressure as you push down. Feel that stretch into the neck. Lift up, 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 up. Slowly, slowly. Take your time. There's no rush. Oh, lovely. Feel, can you feel it, Beryl? Yeah, feel it into your collarbones as you press down, really actively. Send the hands down and press the shoulders down, and then a squeeze up. And that helps to relieve your tension in your shoulders, in your neck, and up, 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 and down, down, down. Grow through your spine. And then we're going to come back to that heel lift. Gentle arms again. Just thinking about sending the blood, oxygen around your body, down through the fingers, up to your brains,
you right there, Cliff?
your hearts. Fabulous. Excellent. So we always work through circulation boost. It's the safest way to get your muscles and bones, your joints, heart prepared for all that harder work in endurance, etc. Okay, feet a little bit wider than your hips, soften the knees. I'm going to put my hands on my tummy so you can see which way we're going. We're going hips to the side, send the hips forwards to the other side to centre, and then we're going back the other way. So you need to soften your knees, otherwise you get very little movement through your hips and your pelvis. If you're sitting, hands on the thighs, and that big circle using your chest. So think about circle through the chest and try not to lift your chin up too high. So a nice neutral spine, neutral neck. And feet are nice and wide if you're sitting. If you're sitting, reverse direction. And if you're standing, keep going. Lovely little hip movement. Like a little hula hoop, which I can't do.
That is your trademark move, though.
This one.
Yeah, that's one of your signature moves.
Is it?
Yeah.
Try it with your legs straight. Feel the difference. You just can't get any movement, can you? And you might feel a bit achy in your back, whereas if you bend through the knees, you get a really big movement. Okay, march now. So slightly bigger leg movements, lifting the knees. You don't need to go faster. I get a bit carried away while I'm talking, so sometimes I go a bit fast. Yeah, Land of Hope and Glory, and Helen's singing it to you now. So
Sorry about that, too.
you turn your volume down for a bit.
Turn it in.
So we're keeping our elbows bent and the elbows come behind you so that we get a lovely movement through the shoulder joint. If you need to, if you're sitting and you have a weaker side or you're standing, you can keep the legs still. You can help to support the arm so that you still get movement. That's it. Fabulous. Lovely big arms there. Oh, spider alert. It's only a tiny one, but I don't like them.
Where is it?
Here. It's tiny, but I don't want to walk into it. Keep going, lovely people at home. It's here, Podge, but you won't be able to see it.
I can see it.
Can you?
It's actually hanging.
It is. I hate spiders.
I'm not a fan, but oh my God, it's a money spider.
Yes, I don't care. Thank you. Thank you very much.
I don't even think that will show up on camera.
I'm sure it won't, but I don't like it. Oh yeah, I would be too.
Can you see it?
No, I don't think so.
You can't even see it on camera. It's that little.
I don't care.
Weirdo.
I don't like them.
Literally.
Okay.
It's a money spider. There you go. All sorted.
Lovely, thank you very much.
No worries.
You saved my life. Feet nice and wide. Sway. I've gone right off track, but I know what I'm coming to next. So feet are really wide to give you that lovely base of support. If ever you are in a compromising situation, take your feet wide and make sure you're steady. Or staggered even. I used to do this on the bus. I used to go through Manchester as a teenager, and you know you're on a bus and you can actually go in all different directions in a staggered stance. So, okay. Coming to feet. So back to foot camera if that's okay. One of my favourite ones. So heel toe, heel pushes into the floor. Same in seated here. Toe hits the same spot. Now, I've been thinking about you lately because this ankle of mine is a bit stiff and sore and I don't know why. And when we go, so we kind of go to pump classes and we do a lunge track. Keep going, and I'm struggling to get that knee down because my ankle is quite stiff and a bit sore. So really, really important that we get these joints moving, mobile, warm. And you know, if you are stiff in some joints, work on it at home. Use that as your homework to really focus on those joints. And it might be you need to add stretches, you might need to add some warmth, some heat pads, and then work with those movements. Okay, let's swap sides. So heel, toe, and notice the difference between your sides. Is your right more mobile than your left, or the other way round? Are they both a bit stiff and sore? And we just know that stiffness, that immobility of joints will affect your movement. And then that can cause instability and kind of unsteady movements. Keep going. And I've shown you before, if you're not picking your feet up, you tend to like shuffle, drag your feet on the floor, and that's when you might kind of trip over you know, when you trip over your own feet, that's when that might happen. So really focus. Actually, we'll come to that now. So keeping with the feet, we're going to just lift the toes up on one foot. Pop it down, just lift the toes. Same foot, lift and lower, lift and lower, lift and lower. Same foot, lift the heel, press that knee forward. So press forwards, lower down. Same in seated, press. So I'm really pushing the front of my foot forwards to get a tight squeeze in the back, but more importantly, to stretch that forefoot, the front of the foot. Other side, toe lift, drop it down, a big squeeze, big squeeze. Same in seated, you might want to outstretch your leg, and then let's come into that heel lift. So heel lift, but a press. Pressing that foot forwards, dropping down. Lovely. And same goes for shoulders, wrists before you use them. Lovely. Okay, and back to your march. Lovely, lovely. Let's come to a little neck stretch. So feet nice and wide. And you didn't need to do that, I just got an itchy leg. We're going to drop the ear to the shoulder. Let the hands hang heavy. Send that opposite hand down and away. Just send it away, and you should feel a lovely stretch into the neck. Bring it back in. Head lifts. Let's go other side. Ooh. Hang the head. Can't get my words out today. Send that hand away. Big stretch into the side of the neck. Fabulous. And, oh, I know what. I thought I'd forgotten something. March again. Couple more. I'll show you the seated version in a second. So, if you're standing here, feet wide, knees soft, sending one hand across your chair, trying to keep the hips facing forwards, okay? So the movement comes through the ribs, come to center, and then the other way. In seated, it's sliding one hand down towards the knee, the hand comes back towards the hip, and eye gaze follows that hand that slides back. So looking over your shoulder, feeling it through the ribs, the waist, the torso. Keep breathing, try not to hold your breath. Lovely. Oh, I know the last one. And it always makes me think of Marina, this one.
Makes you think of who?
Marina.
Oh, yeah. She
Not this one, the next one. Yeah, she loves this one, the next one coming up. So, have a gentle march as we come into our final circulation warm-up. Feet come nice and wide, hands down, lean down to the side. And use those muscles in the belly to pull you up. Soften the knees. Seated, it's the same. Your feet are wide and you're just leaning down as if you were picking something up off the floor. Up, up, up. Slide down. If you're standing, you can start to then lift the elbow up a little bit higher. Keep breathing. Keep breathing. And then we're going to march it out. Moving on to endurance. So, you know how you feel today, you know what you've got going on in your lives. If you need to take it a little bit easier today, you can. If you want to ramp it up, go for it, absolutely fine. We're going to start with a tap, as always, warming up the hips, opening out the hips. So, tap out, tap out, tap. So, my body stays in the centre. The only thing moving is one leg and then the other. Seated, it's exactly the same. You might need to take your feet out a little bit further forwards. Lovely. Have we not got Age UK in today?
No. And we've only got two. You've got to remember, this is the quietest 2 months of the calendar, haven't we? Because
Yeah.
we've got weather and
March again.
grandparent duties.
Oh yes, we do. March again. Lovely. So we're going to quickly keep moving.
What are you worried about?
No, I was just seeing what the chat was. Okay, we're going to step together, step together, step together,
They're all doing their paperwork.
step
Switch
together.
them.
Again, slower. In seated, you can tap to the side. Tap out and in, out and in. Where are your shoulders? I know they're on the top of your arms, but are they relaxed? Have you pulled your belly in? Are you smiling? So little step touch, and just notice, are you holding on still? That's fine if you are. I don't want you grabbing on for dear life. Just press or slide. Or are you unsupported? Have you made a difference in the weeks that you've been with us? Do you feel more confident in classes? Okay, march again. We're going to do the same movement. This time we're picking the legs up one at a time. Okay, I'll show you. So it's lift, up, over, together. Up, over. The second leg also lifts up and over. You don't need to do it this high. So up and over, whoop, up and over. If you need to steady yourself, what do we do? If you're a bit wobbly, step. Okay, use that compensatory step. Step out, step wide to recover, or step back. That's why we practice. In seated, it's exactly the same. You might want to just keep going in standing. If you're seated, you might want to just sit back, recline in the chair a little bit, because it's quite a lot to lift that leg up and over when you're sitting forwards. Up and over, up and over.
What's wrong?
Lovely. And then into a march. How do you feel? Are you breathless? Oh, have a deep breath. So, if you're not doing legs, you can always do arms. You can always add in arms. And don't forget, we can always add in arms and legs. Okay, next move. One of my favourite ones, I really love this move. It's that wide step, dip down, together. Wide step, together. So as you step wide, you have to stick your bottom out. I'll show you from the side in a minute, you poor things. So side, together. Again, if you just want to do one or two, that's great. So from the side, it's a step. So it's actually a bit of a squat, together. Now, some of you might want to add in arms, but only if you can do it unsupported. Or you could come in front of your chair and lovely. Oh, we've got some proper squats going on there, Jackie. Well done. Look here, well done. Oh, you all look wonderful. Excellent. Oh, lovely. You're all doing it now. You're amazing, honestly.
What about Cliff? Can we get a bit of depth?
I can't see.
Good boy.
In seated, you can still step wide and lean. Step wide and lean. That's it. Or you could even come to a little bunny hop. Oh, keep going. Lovely. Oh, look, Max and Jenny are doing it in choreographed form. They're doing it in time to each other. Fabulous. And if I don't mention you, I'm still watching you. You just all look amazing. Okay, march, recover. That's quite strong, that one, isn't it? At first you think, oh, that's all right. We're using those big muscles, thighs, bottom. You're pressing your weight through your feet. You're using your core muscles. You might be adding in the arms. So, whole body work. Gently lift, recover. How are we feeling? Are we okay? Give me a thumbs up. If you need to sit down at any point, sit down, but keep those feet just moving so you don't feel dizzy. If you feel dizzy, take it easy. Just lift the heels or wiggle the toes. Take some deep breaths in through the nose and out. And we're going to just step. We're going to do a double step. Woo, if you've got space. 1.
Don't forget to use your
2.
arms.
1, 2.
That's
1,
it, lovely.
2.
Use
Again,
your arms, Cliff.
if you're in front of the chair.
Here's a tip. The more your arms move, the more your legs move.
That's it, lovely. You can do a gentle squeeze here if you want to, but we're bringing it down now. So think about breathing more, getting that breath into your body, just lowering your heart rate safely, gently. Okay, no arms now, no arms. Just a step. You can wiggle out, shake your fingers, shake your hands. Let's just do a 1 step together. 1 step together. Breathe. Let that lovely oxygen fill your body. And then wide base sway again. Our go-to movement. Lovely.
We're just mouthing at each other. It's quite funny. So there's like a whole backstory. Like, right?
Yeah, Helen's sending me hand signals and I'm like, what?
Just keeping it real. Keeping it real.
Right, one hand. Da da da. Da da da. Da da da. Can you hold it on one side? Can you hold it there? Hold it. Belly in. Relax your shoulders. Other side. Da da da. Hold it there. Breathe. Same in seated. Exactly the same. Feet are nice and wide. One hand only. So you can hold on with one hand. Other side and hold. What's happening to that other foot? So I've lifted my heel. Other side, I've lifted my heel. Other side, lift my heel. And you might notice we've gone straight into balance. Da, da, da. Was that sneaky?
Yeah.
Lovely. Great. Rest. Grab a drink if you need a drink. And we will go straight into balance properly. So, again, coming to the end of the course, think about your balance. Have you improved? And it might be really subtle. Are you doing more than you used to do? Are you reaching more or bending down more? Are you going up and down stairs more confidently? Are you going up and down slopes? Are you practicing at home? Are you doing your flamingo stand at home? It's a good, simple movement to practice. So let's do that first of all, so I don't forget. Flamingo stand, followed by, do you remember last week I said we're gonna step and lunge down. So flamingo stand is, we stand away from the chair. So that's my base of support. If I can hold on if I need to. I'm going to slide my leg back. I'll show you from the side. Slide my leg back so my knees are together. They're even, they're level. What I mean by that is I'm not here and I'm not there. I'm not kind of kicking it back. So, posture. And what happens when we get tired is that hip sticks out. So think lovely and aligned. So, first bit is you can keep your leg there and hold it there. If you want to add on, you can just lift the heel. Now you can hold on to your support, both hands, one hand, a finger maybe. Eye gaze forwards, tuck the bottom under, and the idea is to count how long you can stay here. But remembering how you come out of this movement in a safe way is, what do? We step wide. Seated, it's the same. It's not quite as challenging, but you can still get that feel. You can sit on the edge of the chair, front third or at a diagonal. You can either lift that leg or just take the foot back. Or you can just lift the leg in the air. You can't really see there. Which gives you that feeling of unsteadiness. Press through. Good, Jenny. Press through that foot on the floor. Think about 4 points of your foot. Come out of it when you need to. Don't just stay there while I'm talking. So 4 points on the foot. Big toe, little toe, outside heel, inside heel. Press down. So have a wiggle jiggle because we're going to do it again. So really important. Then press the weight down through your big toe and your second toe. Use your arms to do whatever you need to do to keep you balanced. Eye gaze is forwards, tummy pulled in because that supports your whole body, and shoulders relaxed. Step out if you need to.
This movement has made the headline news recently because the Flamingo Stance, what you're doing and what we've been working on with you for months, is all about longevity. So this is definitely something worth practicing when you're making a cuppa.
And just look at the difference, okay? So if I take my leg back and I've not pulled everything in and my posture is poor, and I'm not putting my weight through my big toe, I'm wobbly, okay? The weight comes on the outside, the inside, my weight is forwards, and just look at the difference. Lift, tuck, and step out. Have a rest. Have a rest because we're going to change sides. So just while you're resting, just watch. So I was here, foot back, leaning forwards. I'm automatically going to fall forward. So think, foot back, bottom tucks under, belly in, shoulders back and down, eye gaze forwards, and then come into that other leg, okay? And that's with everything you do if you can. And I know sometimes if we have poor posture, my hubby, he's a Cockney, and he walks like this, and I'm like, pull your shoulders back.
What's that got to do with his posture?
Because he's like geezer, isn't he? He's like geezer. And I have to go, pull your shoulder, and he's like, no, but, and then he goes like that. Just think about your lovely posture, how much better you can breathe when your shoulders are back and down. You can see everything if you're looking forward. And just hold. Notice how it feels on that other side. Spread that weight through your big toe, second toe. Push it down. Push it down. Breathe. And do this for your homework. Count how long you can stand on one leg. Seated, you can still practice. You can still practice putting your foot down, putting the weight into those toes. Looking forwards, relaxing the shoulders. Fab. Let's go one more time so we're even on both sides. Da, da, da. Eye gaze forwards. Lovely. Good. And step wide. Always, always step wide. Okay, that's that one done. So, we're going to come into our step sequence, but we're going to step and reach, but we're going to... Oh, shush, I'll show you. We're lunging, we're reaching, but we're dipping down this time. So do you remember last time we stepped and reached forward? This time we're going to step out a little bit and we're going to dip down. So as if we had to reach something.
I think you've unplugged.
I've unplugged.
Oh, okay.
I was just going for a wee.
As if we were going to... Can you hear me? Thumbs up. Yeah. Okay, as if you were going to reach something that's down by your ankle. And then you come up. You don't necessarily have to pick it up, but it's that downwards, down, down, instead of forwards, okay? We're going down, down, push up, and then step back in, and then have a rest. So I'll show you from the side, and then I'll show you seated. So my outside leg, because I've got my chair here, and I'm not going to topple that way then. So you might need to wiggle jiggle that foot back a bit behind you because you need quite a long stance. Dip down, it's quite strong into that back leg, and lift whatever it is you were picking up off the floor. So you can see that my eye gaze, is Max
forward.
okay there? So I'm not looking down, I'm not looking down. I'm looking forwards and I'm just imagining picking something up by my ankle. Remember, if we're going to look down, we might well fall forwards. Step in, take your time. March your heels. In seated, so just do a couple in standing. It's quite strong. In seated, we're at the front third of our chair. We're going to step forwards, dipping down, reaching something behind your heel here if you're sitting. Lift up, pull back. Same side. Dip down, lift, and up. Oh, who was that? I can't see. And let's go other side. Take your time, have a rest if you need to, because this is using those big muscles in your legs. And it is the equivalent of us moving on to our getting down on the floor part. And again, one side might be stronger than the other. So a big step forwards. So why, right, hang on a minute, just stop for a second. I just want to show you the difference. So if I was just going to do a little step forwards and I'm leaning down, it's a long, long way to get down. If I step further forwards, it's not as far, okay? It's easier if you've got a bigger step forwards, okay? Because you're nearly there rather than here and going all the way down. So let's go again.
Of course, you're not even thinking about this when you're doing it, right? So the more you explore these ideas with Pat or myself, the more it becomes second nature to you. And people will notice, won't they? That's the thing. People will notice that you have more confidence in movement.
And what the difference might be, that if you're going to get something out of a cupboard or that is on the floor, you might take a little step and go, oh, that's really hard, I can't reach it. Whereas if you know that to take a bigger step, it might be easier. Are you worn out now? Lovely. So it's that step, lean down, pick up, come back to centre and rest. Rest out. Have a sit down. Have a sit down. Safely. Are we okay? Are we okay? Good. Because we've done lots of reaching up to the side, across, but actually reaching down is one of those things that we have to do. We need to keep doing. Have a little rest. Okay, we're going to move on to some strength work.
Got your band?
It's down here.
Huh?
It's down here.
Huh? Oh.
Have you all got bands? Guys at Red Roof, we've got new bands. You've got the new bands, and they're a lot harder. It's really hard on these ones.
Yeah, don't be fooled. If you've all got pink bands, some pink bands are a lot harder than others. So you can also purchase lighter ones or stronger ones, but also there's a map in here. So to look at resistance, to make resistance lighter, hold the bands looser. To make it tighter, hold the bands closer together. If any of that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure it does. Okay, let's work on our wrist strength. Are your wrists do they ache sometimes, or do you find that you can't open jars properly, or when you're pressing down it might hurt? Let's do some wrist strength. And we know that arthritis gets us there. Fingers, our finger strength goes, and we have to use fingers for our fine motor skills, buttons and sewing, and I don't know, what do men do? Putting your golf tee down, getting your golf tees out, or whatever you're doing. So,
it's even things like medicine bottles.
Medicine bottles, taking your tablets out of your little piddly, fiddly packets, or your Dosset packs if you've got them. Any of those little things. So we're going to double up, keep going. until you're quite small, and then you're going to fold it in half. And then you're going to grasp your band with both hands, like it's a tea towel or a dishcloth, flannel, and you're going to twist it and let go. Twist it, and like it's sopping wet, okay? It's sopping wet, and you've got to really twist. If you haven't got a band, a tea towel will do for now. Wring it out. Now, I want you to make sure that each of your fingers and thumbs are pressing, squeezing as tight as the others. And while you're there, where are your feet? Are they nice and wide? How's your posture? Lovely. Beryl's like, star pupil. So it's a squeeze and a let go. And this is like rotation. Your wrist is rotating both ways. You're squeezing with your fingers, and then I want you to add in a pull. So you're going to try and pull it apart, but you won't be able to. Let go, squeeze again. Elbows are wide and pull. If that's too much for your little hands, just a squeeze on the band and release. A squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And then I want you to, can you swap hands? So like this one, I started with my hand, this palm facing into me. I want you to turn that palm facing out. So you get a different, slightly different movement. It's like one hand is more dominant.
Yeah, and grip strength, again, you know, this is all part of, in science land, there's 3 classic fracture sites from falling, and one is the wrist. Mm-hmm. So this helps with strengthening the joints around the wrist. So as small and insignificant this feels.
Oh, my hair really hurts my fingers.
Yeah, and so think about that, Pat. You know, women of our age,
yeah.
So we're midlifers.
Yeah.
And we're feeling it. So we anticipate that you guys are feeling it in your fingers too.
Pop your band down and just spread out your fingers. And I remember my mum used to get arthritis in the joint of her thumb, bless her, and she had surgery on it just because it was so painful. And then you lose that mobility, don't you? So we have to keep the rest of your fingers going, and you might have little nodules on your knuckles or your joints, and it's really important to keep them moving. And sometimes if they're painful, heat, warm, you know, in rheumatology, for example, they might dip your hands in warm wax, which is just lovely. So warm water or running it under a warm tap might help you to get that mobility. Okay, let's do triceps. You know I love triceps. I'm going to sit on my diagonal. I'm going to put the band under my foot. And you're going to hold the band towards your hip and then take the band, can you see this hand down here? Hold it down towards your calf. So it's secured under your feet. Posture check. I'm going to lift that elbow back. So it's back and tucked in. It's not kind of sticking out. It's back and in. I'll show you from the front there. Okay, and keep that elbow back. And if you just want to hold it there, that's okay. I might have to adjust it because this band is hard. We're going to keep the elbow there and straighten the arm. Keep the elbow there, relax that shoulder, straighten the arm. So the elbow stays back and in. So tuck that elbow. I can see that. It's not that. Elbow in and back. I can't do it on this chair. So
do it in stand.
Here. So here, if I'm standing, it's this movement. And out and in, facing.
It's like a weird one, right? Because
it is weird.
It's not a natural movement.
It's not, because it puts a lot of pressure through your shoulder, and if you're not used to doing this, it might feel uncomfortable. So let that band go a bit. So it might be that you only get tension at the back end there. Really important triceps. Breathe. And then let's change sides. So put the foot under the band. Send the elbow back and up. So it's tucked in and back, so you can't see my elbow, can you, really? Straighten off that arm, straighten, bend, but you can see my elbow stays high.
The bingo wings.
It is, and if you can only do a couple properly,
Back, not out.
that's fine. So
Behind you,
imagine,
not to the side of you.
imagine somebody's got hold of your elbow behind you and they're not letting it go. And you're going to say, get off, like that, get off. Back and in, back and in, lovely. And if you can't get it, so here's the old, this is the old exercise. I'm probably not very good at it now. This is the old exercise that we used to do. It's that little tricep dip. So in seated, you could actually, or on the bed, take your hands behind you and lower your weight behind you if you can't get it with the band. Let's just do opposite and then we'll come to stretch and relaxation. So band is under my foot still. Palm is facing up to the ceiling. So hold the band, keep that elbow tucked into your side but loosely, okay, it stays there, and I'm going to lift that band up towards my shoulder and slowly lower it down. I'll show you from the side. So the only thing moving is the forearm, so up to the shoulder, keep that wrist nice and straight and strong. And you should have a little bit of tension coming up and coming down. Coming up, coming down. Lovely. Coming up. How's your posture? Are you breathing? Okay, this time we're going to hold it up. Tiny little presses. Tiny little presses. Tiny little presses. 4, 3, 2, 1, and down. Other side.
Other side.
Other side. So foot under the band. Hold onto the band with your other hand. Palm facing up. Elbow is tucked in. And then we lift that hand up towards the shoulder. Lower it down. Hand up. Lower down, hand up, lower down. What's happening with your belly? Have you let it go? Or are you still lovely and upright? Nice long spine, almost like you're feeling proud. Okay, let's hold it up. We're going to go tiny little presses, tiny little presses, tiny little presses.
Come on, right away to your shoulder.
3, 2, 1,
There you
and
go.
down. Well done. Let's stretch you out. So we've got to stretch arms. So give yourself a big bear hug. Wiggle your fingers around your backs and drop your chin. So next week we're going to try and do that whole sequence as we lunge down towards the floor, drop the knee, come back up, stand, turn around, sit down. Lift up, swap arms, uncurl, other hand on top, wiggle jiggle, can you hear me? Drop the chin down and just send the elbows just an inch to one side, an inch to the other side. Fabulous. And then hands come into the lower back, squeeze those elbows towards each other, lift the chin slightly. Lift, lift. Take some big breaths in, opening out the chest, and come back. Let's send those hands over the knees, drop the chin down, round through the spine, and then relax the head. Feel that stretch into and along the length of your spine, almost like your spine is in a big C shape. Tuck the bottom under. Lovely, and then we better come up, do leg stretches. So we're going to straighten one leg up, down towards the floor. So heel on the floor, hands on the other thigh, take your foot slightly forwards, lean forwards from the hip. So try not to round through the spine. And eye gaze is about 45 degrees towards the floor, not down towards your foot. And then keep the foot there. Lift up. And then squeeze the toes up towards the kneecap. Or you can make a little circle or a big circle, one way and then the other. And then let's come to the other leg. Other leg out, toes are pointing up to the ceiling. Wiggle jiggle the supporting foot forwards. Hands on the thighs and leaning into that stretch. Just breathe. Feel that stretch behind the back of the knee, back of the thigh. If you can't feel it, maybe lean in a bit further forwards. And then keep the heel there. Come up to seated. Relax the toes and then squeeze the toes up towards the knee. Relax that foot off, feet come wide. Just relax, bless you. Relax in your chair. Close your eyes for 2 minutes of breathing, relaxation. And I don't mind how you sit. You can slump, you can let your belly relax. Close your eyes and just breathe. Feel your breath, feel your body. Be aware of your body. Have you got any kind of creaky bits or achy bits, or do you feel really warm and mobile? Send your feet forwards a little bit and wide so you feel really safe and secure. You're steady, stable, and you're done for the week. No, you're not done for the week because you've got to do homework every day for 10 minutes. And we'll be watching you. We know. Breathe. In through the nose and out through the mouth. And then I want you to purse your lips and take a big, slow, long breath in through pursed lips. And then all the way out. Notice that difference in the temperature of the air as you breathe in through pursed lips. Feel that difference of the breath. How does it feel? It almost feels like you're getting a bigger, better breath as you breathe that cooler air in. And then just breathe normally. And then I want you to breathe into the back of the throat. So you almost can hear that breath at the back of the throat. And you need to rest your tongue on the roof of your mouth. And then I want you to breathe into your belly. So when you breathe in, your belly swells. It reaches the bottom of your belly. And then you breathe out and the belly goes back to its original position. And then take a breath in right deep into the belly. And out. And one more. And then move your toes. Move your fingers. Sit up. Come forward. Have a big fat stretch if you need to. Oh, have a yawn. Oh, well done. Put your hands together and give yourself a round of applause for completing week 24. 1 week to go. Please do join us next week if you can. If not, send us a message, send us those testimonials, and practice, practice, practice. Thanks for joining us. See you next week.